Today is Monday, September 15th, and I'm just trying to figure out what to make of the Cowboys after they staggered to a 40-37 overtime win over the Giants Sunday.
And now, a word from our title sponsor.
Eyeing retirement? We aim to turn your nest egg into a paycheck with half the amount you've been led to believe. Fluent Financial combines in-house portfolio design risk management with income-generating investments designed to aid your financial independence. Our goal is to develop an effective portfolio strategy to help you retire sooner and have a better lifestyle. Fluent Financial can also implement a program that allows business owners to install a cash balance plan, which may potentially reduce income tax payments. You've worked hard to become successful. Let us help develop an effective portfolio strategy that works for you. Learn more today about Fluent Financial. Retire sooner, better lifestyle. For more information or to schedule a meeting, visit fluentfinancial.com or call 972-852-4800.
The Dallas Cowboys came this close to a freaking disaster on Sunday. They almost lost to one of the very worst teams in the National Football League at home. In fact, they should have lost, I think. But the Giants committed 160 yards in penalties. They just kept either giving Dallas drives yardage or taking big plays back from their own team. And New York made 5 trips inside the Dallas red zone. They got 1 TD. They settled for 3 field goals and 1 trip that gave them nothing when they turned the ball over on downs, when running back Cam Scatteraboo simply dropped the pass that would have given the Giants a first down inside the Cowboys' 5. They passed on an early field goal and went for it on that 4th and 3 play, we just talked about it, and failed. What might those 3 sure points have made as a difference on this field as the game went on? I have no idea how many games either Dallas or New York may win. But with New York, I suspect it will be very few. And I also suspect that somewhere down the road on this season, we'll get the word that they've dismissed their head coach, Brian Daboll, whose years with the club have been marked by, mediocrity would be a compliment. Yet, these Cowboys allowed the aging and on his last legs of his career, Russell Wilson, to throw for 450 yards. 2 Giants wide receivers, Neighbors and Robinson, combined for more than 300 yards receiving. This was not a dink and dunk Giants offense. They attacked the Cowboys down the field, way down the field, and they were successful doing it. Dallas probably would have lost, except wounded New York wouldn't allow them to lose. Javonte Williams rushed for 97 yards, and his career looks somewhat revitalized. George Pickens and Jason Ferguson had really good days supporting the solid day of CeeDee Lamb, as all the Cowboys receivers caught the ball from Dak Prescott, who who himself had a solid day. But in the end, Dallas would have lost, except they have the best kicker in the Milky Way. Losing would have been unthinkable. As we said on Friday in previewing the game, it would have been thought of as a disaster. But what does this life and death struggle at home against one of the NFL mutts say about the Cowboys? The defense was awful. The cornerbacks, Diggs and Elam, they were toast. For me, this performance scares the living daylights out of me, as it probably does with a bunch of Cowboy fans. Now, the Cowboys will sign defensive end Jadeveon Clowney to help them somewhat, or perhaps more than somewhat, with their pass rush. Everybody holds their breath, waiting for the injury reports to starting center Connor Beebe and kick returner Kvontae Turpin. Cowboys now hit the road, where they'll be a field goal underdog to the winless Chicago Bears. As we all wonder, what in the world to make of this Cowboy football team? Next, the results of college football's Cream Puff Weekend. What do you want from your favorite restaurant? Fantastic personal service? A cheery, welcoming, spotless atmosphere? And, of course, great food. The primest of beef, wagyu and lamb, incredibly fresh seafood, lobster, salmon, shrimp, Hall of Fame food from a Hall of Fame restaurant, 2 locations of Bob's Steak and Chop House, the original Bob's on Lemon Avenue, and the gorgeous new Bob's at Craig Ranch, McKinney. My wife Mary's the co-creator of Full Moon Healing Balm, and I guess I'm the reason this terrific cream was developed. A few years ago, I began getting these huge, ugly blood blotches just beneath the skin of my arms and hands. The condition's called senile purpura. And no, you don't have to be senile to experience this embarrassment. It happens as you age. And then to cover it up, we begin wearing long sleeves even when it's hot. It took 2 years working with a New Jersey lab to refine the all-natural ingredients of Full Moon Healing. Gently massage a very small amount into the skin, and within a day, the blotches begin to fade. Senile purpura usually takes weeks to disappear, but this balm cuts the timeline to about a week. And ordering's so easy. Just go to the website, fullmoonhealingco.com. Last week on Just Wondering, we talked about how early in the season, these first few weeks of the season, power conference teams schedule dogs. Sorry, but dogs. To build up their early record and get a look at some of their backup players and take no chances on losing. Well, this was Cream Puff Weekend, and the Cream Puffs got creamed. Indiana beat Indiana State by 73. Syracuse topped Colgate by tons. By the way, that's the university, not the toothpaste. Baylor walloped Samford by 35. Nebraska 52 over Houston Christian. Is that any way to treat Christians? Virginia won by 39 over William and Mary. Cincinnati by 70 over Northwestern State. They got ripped the second week in a row. Penn State by 46 over Villanova, Rutgers 50 over Norfolk, Toledo 60 over Morgan State, Mississippi State 63 over Alcorn State, Iowa 40 over UMass, Kentucky 25 over Eastern Michigan. Eastern Michigan was one of 3 Michigan directional schools invited to play this weekend. Got paid to play this weekend, to go to the home of a much better team. As we said, Eastern Michigan lost by 25 to Kentucky. Western Michigan lost by 38 to Illinois. And Central Michigan lost by 60 to Michigan. So the 3 directional Michigan teams got beaten by a combined 123 points. Now, it wasn't all roses this weekend. SMU looked sloppy again in pulling away in the second half from Missouri State. Texas still does not have its act together, and I'm sorry, but Arch Manning looks awful. And if his name weren't Arch Manning, I'm wondering if Texas wouldn't be considering a quarterback change. But the embarrassment of the weekend goes to UCLA. UCLA invited New Mexico to come to their place this weekend. And the Bruins of UCLA were 15.5-point favorites. And they got their butts shot off. New Mexico beat them 35-10 as a 15.5-point underdog. You know what made it worse? UCLA paid them $1.2 million to play this game at UCLA. $1.2 million for UCLA to be the cannon fodder. Almost immediately, UCLA fired their head coach. And I guess UCLA has been unsuccessful in trying to fire the entire team.
And now a word from our title sponsor. Today's episode has been brought to you by Fluent Financial, Retire Earlier, Live Better, and by Bob's Steak and Chop House on Lemon in Dallas and in Craig Ranch in McKinney. Bob's, a Dallas tradition for more than 30 years.
If you've enjoyed Just Wondering, please hit follow, and a fresh new episode will land in your mailbox early every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday morning. Should you know a sports fan who might like our work, please share our contact information with that person. Just Wondering is technically directed by my wife, Mary, who is also occasionally a talent on the show. It's produced by Mike Matern, edited and posted by Ashley Bullington. Thanks for listening to today's episode of Just Wondering. I'm Norm Hitzges, and know that every day I'll be just wondering about something.
And I'm Mary Hitzges, and I'll just be wondering too.
This is a Stolen Water Media production.